They say opposites attract. That's why the Sleep Number Smart Bed is the best bed for couples. You can each choose what's right for you whenever you like. You like a bed that feels firm but they want soft? Sleep Number does that. You want to sleep cooler while they like to feel warm? Sleep Number does that too. You have to feel it to believe it. Find the bed that's for both of you, only at a Sleep Number store. Sleep better together. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now, Sleep Number Smart Beds starting at $999. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
My dad works in B2B Marketing. He came by my school for career day and said he was a big ROAS man. Then he told everyone how much he loved calculating his return on ad spend. My friends still laugh at me to this day.
Not everyone gets B2B, but with LinkedIn, you'll be able to reach people who do. Get a $100 credit on your next ad campaign. Go to linkedin.com/results to claim your credit. That's linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply. LinkedIn, the place to be, to be.
I'm kind of curious. Why weren't you upset? You're upset now. I'm upset looking at it. Why weren't you upset then?
I was very upset. I let things go a lot because of the fact that we are neighbors and we're literally in each other's pockets. That's how close this neighborhood is.
This is the plaintiff, Tanya Martin. She says she loaned her neighbor, the defendant, money so he could get an emergency surgery for his German Shepherd, and he won't pay her back. He also owes her money for a bathroom renovation she hired him for, but he never completed. And friend or no friend, she wants the $2,959.75 she's owed. This is the defendant, John Driscoll. He says the plaintiff gave him the money for his dog's surgery as a gift because she had gotten a big settlement from Walmart because she twisted her ankle in one of their stores. He also finished 95% of the woman's bathroom before she fired him because she has no patience. Bottom line, he doesn't owe her anything. And if anyone's owed money today, it's him because the plaintiff slandered him on social media, and that's a big no-no. He's accused of taking advantage of a friend. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,000 for defamation of character.
All parties, please use your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
The People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Milian is now presiding. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Litigants have been sworn.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Ms. Martin, you are suing Mr. Driscoll for $2,959.75. You say he owes you for work he did not complete on your bathroom and for vet bills. You have a counterclaim against her for $2,000 for defaming your character and saying that you owe her money. Let me hear from you first, Ms. Martin. What happened?
I received a settlement for an accident that I had, and I needed to have a walk-in tub installed in the bathroom of the home I inherited from my grandmother. So Mr. Driscoll had just done his own bathroom. I asked him if he would do mine. He said the work would only take 3 days. We settled on a price of $3,000. The work took much longer than expected. Instead of 3 days, it was closer to 2 weeks.
Okay.
And it finally got to a point where my tub had arrived and was sitting out on my driveway and was risking being ruined. So I had to call in an actual plumber to come in and install the tub, and my bathroom's never actually been finished.
Even today, it's still not finished?
Yes, ma'am.
So what work did he do?
He did rip out the old walls, and he did install a linen closet that was supposed to have real shelving in there, and now it's just raw plywood instead of being actual finished shelves.
How much did you agree on to pay him for that work?
We originally had agreed on a price of $3,000.
And how much did you pay him for that work?
About $2,600.
So do you have pictures of it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, give me one moment. Oh, goodness. So the drywall is up, but there was never any plastering done.
That's the ceiling where he left it.
And you paid him how much?
$2,600.
How long ago was this?
2020.
And not only did you let this go, but you then have your second claim in this case, which is that you give him money for his dog's operation. But I'm kind of curious, why weren't you upset? You're upset now. I'm upset looking at it. Why weren't you upset then?
I was very upset. I let things go a lot because of the fact that we are neighbors and we're literally in each other's pockets. That's how close this neighborhood is.
Great. Okay, Mr. Driscoll, let's hear from you. How do you accept $2,600 for the job I'm looking at up on the screen?
Well, the reason why I didn't even want to do the job because of all the extra work that it entailed and the biohazards at her house, the infestation with the cockroaches and the urine smell that protrudes out of her house and into my house. I figured that I have to be the one to clean it up and do the work in there. I did extra pest control work, killing roaches as I took everything off.
I don't understand. I'm looking at, this is real simple for me. Take a look at the picture I have up on the screen.
She fired me. She fired me before I was finished completely.
Why? Why did she fire you?
Because she was upset with me because I hired somebody to come help me and we did the drywall and I cut off.
Well, you didn't do the drywall. You put up, all you did was nail drywall in. Yeah, no, I mean, I got the impression from your answer to the complaint that you were 90-something% done, and that's not, the pictures I'm looking at don't show that.
Well,
do you think that's 90% done?
Well, I think the only thing left on that job was to finish the drywall and to attach that pipe for the tub that was in there.
And attach the tub.
So maybe 80%.
And attach the tub.
The tub was in place.
And fix the shelves instead of having plywood in the linen closet. What's the plywood? You have plywood in your linen closet?
She never said anything about the shelves.
Do you have plywood in your linen closet? Do you have plywood in your linen closet?
Do I? No.
Right.
We have no written contract. If you were to see the shape of that house and what I was fixing, it was 100% better than what it is right now.
Okay. Let me ask you about the vet bills, Ms. Martin. Talk to me about that.
He called me late at night one night. He had taken his dog to the vet. I've known Mercedes since before I moved in here when my grandmother was still here. And
what kind of dog is Mercedes? Was Mercedes?
She was a German Shepherd.
Yeah.
She was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I went to the emergency vet, and I actually paid the vet bill there that night before I came home. And it was my understanding they were going to make her comfortable that night. He was going to take her to a specialty vet the next day.
How much did you pay that night?
$639 and change.
And why did you pay it? Why didn't he pay it?
Because he simply didn't have it. As well as the next day, he called and said that he had been able to take her to a specialty vet, but there was nothing that they were going to be able to do for her without further monies in advance.
And so how much did he ask you for the next day?
He gave me a ballpark figure of how much they might charge him of $1,500. I said all I could do was $1,000. And so I made a direct bank transfer from my account to his account.
And so for the dog, you ended up loaning him, according to you, $1,659.75, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And this is after he left your bathroom in the condition that you've shown me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, let me hear from you, Mr. Driscoll, on the issue of the dog. The dog ended up having to be euthanized, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry about that.
Yes, ma'am. We were brokenhearted. It was a 3-day ordeal. We stayed driving around trying to help save my dog's life because she was in pain. And I ran a special on my Facebook page for anyone that wanted to help me with the specialty bills above and beyond the regular vet bills to figure out what the problem was with her. And she lives next door to me. We pulled in. My girlfriend is hysterically crying. We're with Mercedes, and she walks over to my girlfriend and says that she will help. I did not ask her. I did not call her for money. She offered to help that night, the second night of me trying to save my dog's life. So she made the agreement with my girlfriend about that money. Then the next day when we go to the specialist, she sends the money there, which she had already offered and sent it. And
who does she send it to?
Or the test.
Who does she
me into my account.
Into your account, not your girlfriend's.
Right.
Okay. Go on.
And so we found out that she had a bladder full of cancer and she had to be euthanized. Yeah. Well, the procedures that were done those days that cost extra money was the draining of the bladder just to get her comfortable. She needed that done like all the time, just so she wasn't in pain. And then we ended up putting her down, and she had a ton of money, and she was wanting to help us, and we were grateful. My girlfriend and her kids have done a bunch of work on her garden. I've went over there. I've offered to help her. I've built her a water heater unit. I'm the go-to guy. I help out everybody. I've done numerous. I've worked too hard since I got out of prison in 2012 to change who I was as a person, to not let toxic and evil people dictate that I give up on myself and I fall into it. I am not going to fall into negativity.
Is she toxic and evil?
When she's coming up with lies, yes.
Okay, what are the lies she's coming up with?
She's going on my Facebook page on somebody's review that gives a review of me, and then she slanders who I am on my reviews.
What did she say?
She goes on TikTok and she slanders me.
What did she say?
Well, there's my Facebook post of a review when a lady said that I stopped and went above and beyond to help her. She puts in the comments, yeah, well, he won't pay you back if he owes you money, or if he won't pay you back money, he's not that good of a person, something to that extent right there on my Facebook page. And I have changed who I was. I've taken accountability. I made a promise to a judge when I got sentenced for a fight within jail. After I'm already going to go to prison on being who I was before I get in a fight in jail. And there I have my epiphanies. And in that courtroom, I threw the mercy on the court and I said, Your Honor, I take accountability for every single choice I ever made in my whole entire life. And I'm sorry for being who I was to this community. And I promise to give back. And I've given back ever since. And I've worked hard and I've showed everybody on Facebook to show my nieces and nephews they don't have to live and be dysfunctional just because I'm breaking the generational curse of toxicity for my family so they can see somebody can do it the right way and make a success of themselves.
What were you in prison for?
It was a VOP on a drug charge for I was trying to get painkillers with my ID that was a fake script. And then I went also for getting in a fight in jail.
This podcast brought to you by Ring. With Ring cameras, you can check on your pets to catch them in the act.
Izzy, drop that.
Or just keep them company.
Aw, I'll be home soon.
Make sure they're okay while you're away. With Ring. Learn more at ring.com/pets.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
According to you and your answer to the complaint, you say her son apparently told her, I don't have to take directions from a woman, which isn't what I said and was completely taken out of context. Okay, what was it that you said?
Okay, well, every single moment that I was over there, I had to be watched working. She had her 300-pound-plus son sitting over my shoulder, asking question after question on every single move that I made.
Can I ask you a question? What does the son's weight have to do with the case?
There's only a little bit of room, and there was cockroaches and everything all over the place. I felt smothered in there trying to work and get this work done while someone's over my shoulder.
I got to be honest with you. You don't sound like a grateful neighbor. Listen to the things you're saying about your neighbor.
I'm not happy that somebody's just trying to destroy my character when I worked so hard to build it, and I go above and beyond for everyone that I possibly can.
What was it you said? I do want an answer to my question. What was it you said about taken out of context, I don't take orders from a woman? Tell me that.
Well, that was what she fired me for. Her son told her.
Is that what you said?
I said, yeah, that's not exactly what I said. I don't need to listen to somebody micromanaging me how to do my job is what I said. Had nothing to do with a woman, but that's what he told her.
Okay. So now let me ask you a question. Let's address the $1,659.75 for the dog bills. She says this is a loan. What is your answer to that? That you're supposed to pay her back?
That my girlfriend is right here. She told my girlfriend not to worry about it, that she's helping her because she wanted to be her friend.
Let me hear from your girlfriend.
Her all the time.
Let me hear from your girlfriend.
She's right here.
Thank you.
Sit.
Oh, well.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you.
What is your name?
Amy Keith.
Okay. Ms. Keith, were you there? Were you in the hospital that night when she paid the $659?
Yes, that was where they kept her overnight, and they kept her comfortable so that they could drain her bladder. They catheterized her and stuff like that. Yes, that's what that was for.
Okay. And did you hear any discussion between the two of them regarding the paying of that bill and whether it was a gift or a loan? You didn't hear anything. Now let's talk about the $1,000 the next day. Tell me about that.
Well, Tanya came over to my house because I was upset because I had to put my dog down because I no longer had any money to figure out what her issue was. Then that's when Tanya came over and said she wanted answers too, and she would love to help because I had already been helping her do stuff around her home.
Are you guys still living right next to each other now?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's got to be awkward. All right, so...
And to be honest with you, just the other day, I gave her 4 cigarettes. I mean, like, we're not those kind of people.
Okay, I tell your boyfriend or husband or whatever he is he can't just yell in the background like...
Hush.
All right, so what makes you think that it was not money that had to be paid back ever?
Because she was doing it as a friend. She had all of her money and she wanted to help. She wanted answers just as well. She loves all of my animals just as much as she loves her own.
All right, did the subject of payback ever come up?
No.
Did the subject of you'll never have to pay me back, this is a gift, that didn't come up either?
No.
Okay. All right, switch with him and let me talk to him again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, can I ask you, there comes a time where she is asking you to pay back some money, and your answer is not, you gifted us that money. That was a gift, not a loan. Your answer is, I don't have it right now, which would seem to imply that you're acknowledging that at some point you're supposed to have it and pay back, wouldn't you say?
Well, maybe to somebody else's opinion. In my opinion, what she said in the text was, I need some of that money you gave back. I'm good friends with the park manager, and she's on the verge of getting evicted and kicked out. And I understood that. She ran out of money, and I was wanting to help her, just like I'll help any of my enemies or friends. I will help. I will pay back. I will acknowledge that she helped me in the hard time. That is a fact. This lady gave to help. And as a fact, I am always going to be willing to give back and help no matter
so
if
I
my
shouldn't look at
my friends.
When she says to you, can you please give me back some of the money I gave you for Mercedes vet bills? I really need groceries. And your answer, I am broke. I'm trying to sell stuff online. I will when I get soon.
I was willing to give her money back in her text, and they kept getting nastier and nastier and more negative. And as they got negative, when she's saying, I know that I've seen all the takeout in your trash.
Yeah.
And so she's looking at my trash, telling me that since I have takeout, I should be able to pay her food back. And then she was getting really nasty and negative. So
nasty and negative after waiting a long time, right? Because when you say I was willing to pay her back, did you pay her $5?
She didn't expect it.
Did you pay her?
She didn't ask
clearly,
for it.
Stop. She asked for it. She expected it. I just read you her text. And your answer was, I don't have it right now. Not, I don't owe you that money. You're merely saying, I'm broke. I don't have the money. I can't pay it.
Rather than avoiding conflict, I agree to helping her when I can and how I can, rather than starting a big old fight over it. What set her over the edge was the remarks that her son told her, and when I left that day, I got fired. So, I mean, I don't know what more she wanted from me.
What she wanted from you was $2,600 worth of work. It's what anybody would want from you. When you say, I'm helping my community by doing her bathroom, it was a job. It wasn't helping your community. And what she wants is the vet bills paid back to her, because there's nothing in any of the texts and anything that I've seen that would indicate that you were never supposed to pay that back. In fact, your text to her seemed to indicate an acknowledgement that you are. You want me to look at it and say, oh, that was just because I was avoiding conflict. But that's not how the law works. You know, I wasn't there. I don't know what your agreement is, so I'm going to listen to her. I'm going to listen to you, and then I'm going to look at the evidence before anybody comes to court and try to see whether or not someone can legitimately think that this money doesn't have to get paid back. And when I look at that bathroom is not 80% done. That's nonsense. Okay? So I don't care why she fired you, whether she fired you because you said you don't take orders from a woman, which is kind of ironic because you're about to, but I don't know whether that's it or not it. It doesn't matter. I'm looking at the pictures and the text. I work with evidence, not, and based on the pictures and the text, I am ordering on her case against you that you pay her back $2,959.75, both the $1,300 she's asking for the work that wasn't done on the bathroom and the $1,659.75 on the vet bills. On your counterclaim against her for defamation of character, I do not find that makes out a defamation of character case. She didn't say you're a crackhead. She said he owes me money and he hasn't paid me, and lo and behold, look, that's what I'm finding too. All right, so 0 on your claim, and on her claim, $2,959.75.
Mr. Driscoll, let me ask you, what do you think about what the judge just decided?
Well, people that make a living suing companies and suing people know the right things to say to a judge. I'm sticking by the truth. She gave the money to my girlfriend as a gift, not a loan, and I'm willing to pay it back. I'm willing to work with it. She's the one that wanted to get all toxic and negative on me, and I went above and beyond for this lady out of love and out of trying to help her.
All right, let me talk to the plaintiff now. Ms. Martin, you filed the lawsuit. You're going to get the money back. Are you still going to be living next to him? He referred to the fact that you might be about to be evicted. Is that true?
No, not at all. But unfortunately, we will still be pocket neighbors.
So how are you going to deal with that? You're going to be running into him all the time?
No, sir. I've learned to avoid him very well.
All right. Well, congratulations. You are going to get the $2,954 that you were seeking. So congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Well, another case, Doug. Text messages are everything. Think about a text message in a dispute as part of a contract, that you actually are writing the deal as you text back and forth. And what you say and what the other person says could end up in court, and what is said could determine who wins and who loses.
My friend's dog bit a guest at a party. My friend had told all the guests her dog was in a separate room because he was not in a good mood and was told to be left alone. The victim went into the room to see the dog and ignored my friend's wishes and warning. Is my friend liable to help pay the victim's medical bills?
Okay. The first question is, are you in a state with strict liability? Because many states just say, hey, your dog bites someone, you're responsible for paying the damages, and that's that.
Take out your checkbook.
And even those still have an exception. If you're poking and irritating the dog and tormenting the dog, then you get what you deserve.
Sure.
But the question is, are you in a state that's makes the owner automatically liable, strict liability? Right. If you're not, then I think it becomes a little muddier.
You have a regular negligence claim. You have an invitee to your house, and if
someone warned you, don't go in there, that's the dog's space, and don't go in there, and then you go in there, and then, it kind of seems to me like an assumption of the risk thing, unless it's a strict liability.
Okay, and wholly apart from all that, you've got what the law would require, and then you've got what's the right thing to do?
Oh, no, if it were,
you pay for it, right?
Yeah, I would pay for it. If my dog bit somebody, I would just pay for it.
If you want people to keep coming over to your house.
If you want people to come to your dinner parties. Right. But that's completely different from what you're legally responsible for.
Right.
This episode is brought to you by Experian. Are you paying for subscriptions you don't use, but can't find the time or energy to cancel them? Experian could cancel unwanted subscriptions for you, saving you an average of $270 per year, and plenty of time. Download the Experian app. Results will vary. Not all subscriptions are eligible. Savings are not guaranteed. Paid membership with connected payment account required.
These are the plaintiffs, Dina Sanchez and James Centeno. Dina says she and her fiancé, James, hired the defendant as their wedding planner, and the woman, quite frankly, ripped them off. She didn't provide them with a contract. Bottom line, they want their $610 back, and they're suing for it today. This is the defendant, Larisha Yamini. She says the plaintiff, Dina, called her in a panic, saying the wedding was off because her fiancé, James, no longer wanted to marry her. She She already purchased some of the supplies for the wedding. The rude woman insulted her and her children. Now she's under no obligation to return a cent of their money because deposits are non-refundable. She's accused of causing wedding woes.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiffs hired the defendant as their wedding planner and says it was just a big scam. The woman didn't even live in their state. But the defendant says everything was fine until the bride called her telling her that she got into a fight with her man and the marriage was off. It's the case of Wedding Bell Blues.
Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Sanchez and Mr. Santino, you are suing Ms. Yamini, someone you, Ms. Sanchez, hired as a wedding planner to return your deposit and invite charges because, according to you, you canceled her right away. Tell me what happened.
Yes, everything started February 13 when my man proposed to me. We decided that we wanted to do the wedding as soon as possible. I reached out to Larisha. I liked what I saw on her page, so I text her March 3rd, and she replied to me March 4th, which we text real quick, and then she called me. We was talking about us, woman stuff. She was telling me that her man was about to get deployed. That's why she wasn't on her home. And I tell her how I met my man, how many years we've been together, things like that. Bottom line, that same day, she's telling me about some winter special that I like it and I like the price. So I agreed to give her a deposit for decoration, flowers, videography, and photography of $575.
Okay. And that's a deposit. How much was the whole thing going to cost?
$2,430.
All right. So the deposit was $575.
Plus $35 that I sent next day for the invitations.
Okay.
And after that, in the same process, I'm asking her for the contract. I'm asking her that my man wants to know about what is the situation, what she gonna do. But she never able to talk to me because on all this moment she's busy all the time with her kids, busy because her man was about to get deployed. And all of a sudden, in the meantime that I'm talking and texting with her, here at home, we have a little hurricane because we was having, me and my mother-in-law, we was having a little bit of disagreement.
Oh, is that the hurricane you're referring to?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant a real hurricane. All right, go on.
Yeah. So also between me and him, because I'm gonna be honest, Your Honor, I wasn't being clear towards him, because in the first moment he told me like, please don't send no money without no contract. That's why a few times I text her, hey, the contract or the agreement, however you want to call it, but I need that to show to my man, you know, because he's very like perfectionist. That caused us a problem, but that's me problem, you know. We text to each other stupidly, and I decided in one moment that I want to cancel. And I believe that it was like fair enough, because not even 24 hours, I call her, hey, it's not happening.
Wait, so was the wedding off or just the wedding planner off? Which was it?
No, everything off.
The whole...
I call her, I let her know, hey, I need to speak to you very kindly. And one moment, me and her, we start talking. She get kind of nasty to me.
How?
And she started telling me, oh, I'm not going to give you your money. That's her money already. That she already sent ordered some lilies, and that she... pay for the time, for the conversation, when she already told me in a conversation, the first conversation, the woman conversation, that she is not going to charge me because that's something that God put me in her way till she helped me. She was texting all that stuff and saying everything like that.
So basically what you're telling me is you entered into a verbal agreement with her. You sent her a deposit and you want your deposit back.
Yes.
And your answer to that, Ms. Yamini?
My answer to that is no. Now, what I was agreeing to do, and this is me just being nice, I was agreeing to give her partial back, minus the deposit for the photography and videography, because you had time to actually look over my website, look over my page, see my details, and have that information. That was not up to me. That was up to you. It actually says it on my Facebook page. Like she said, she went on.
What
Facebook.
information are you referring to?
On my page itself, it states, one, there is a $50 consultation fee initially. I don't know why she said I said anything about God, because I'm not even religious. I'm not religious. So to even put that into the equation was beyond me. But on my page it states deposits are non-refundable. It's stated on my page. It's stated on my contracts, my agreements, all the time.
We don't have any contracts.
Exactly.
When you say contracts, one of the complaints they have is that they didn't get a contract. Of course, she tried to get her money back the next day, so I don't know when she didn't get a contract that quickly. But why didn't you send a contract out that day?
So I was in California with my husband when she contacted me.
Okay.
She knew that. This was discussed. As she stated, yes, my husband is getting deported. He's gone now. So the time that she spent arguing with me, especially the last day, I didn't even get a chance with my husband. I was wasting that talking with them. And then on my way back home, she even had the audacity to say, oh, I know you need this money, so you should be going to why aren't you spending time with your kids? Like, why are you even bringing my children into this conversation whatsoever? This is between me and you. You told me that your husband decided he didn't want to marry you. I have this in statement. I have this in message. I have this all recorded. You stated that you didn't. He didn't know. He no longer wanted to marry you. And so you guys were canceling your wedding. And I said what? I was willing to give you partial back, but I couldn't give you the full deposit back because what? You won the initial consultation fee to the deposit on the photography and videography, which I feel is very fair. I had others that wanted that date.
Okay.
Period.
Well, here's the thing. Like, everybody gets hung up on, you don't have to prove to me you put a deposit on the photographer or the videographer. You don't have to prove to me you did diddly squat. The issue is it a refundable deposit or is it a non-refundable deposit? She doesn't get to say, oh, I gave you money and I agreed to your terms, but change my mind. The issue is it a refundable deposit or a non-refundable deposit? So that's really what I want to focus on, and I want you to look up at what I'm putting on the screen right now. There are two different places where you talk about non-refundable, and they're next to each other. It remains non-refundable past 2 weeks, as I have now began to prepare for your date and have set aside that time. Then right after that, it says, deposits are 40% of the overall total and are non-refundable as I begin to gather items as soon as deposit is placed. Most people in your position don't have this cloudy language. Most people in your position just say flat out, deposits are non-refundable. Why are you saying past 2 weeks in the paragraph above?
Because I also offer personalized gifts and favors. I don't just do weddings.
How does that say anything about personalized gifts? It says if you decide to cancel event, order. Please remember, this policy is still in place and order is canceled as soon as notice is given. It remains non-refundable past 2 weeks. Why do you even include this language in here?
Because I've had people that, like she's doing, the next day.
Right, so why don't you just say deposits are non-refundable?
You're right. I should clear that. I should make the clear language with that. Yes, you're right. You are correct.
Okay, but Ms. Sanchez, can I ask you a question? You're a grown adult. Like, if you put a deposit down, you make an agreement with somebody, why should you get your money back?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, I believe that it was not even 24 hours.
So what?
When I asked for my...
Like, I know, but why not don't put the deposit down? You did take up a bunch of the lady's time. She's holding your hand and pasándote la manito, stroking your hand, calming you down because the stress was so much. You were freaking out. You felt, I've read the text, that nobody's helping me. But I can only imagine what your mother-in-law and are you still marrying him?
We're married.
Oh, you're married. What your mother-in-law and your husband said that just blew your mind because you were so clearly already stressed. And then she's the one talking you off the ledge. She invested a lot of time in you. Like, why would it be fair that you not pay anything to her?
She was really nice at the beginning. As soon as I asked for my money, she went super nasty. I understand.
No, that's not true. Stop. That's not true. As soon as she asked for the money, you sent her the money, she did not get super nasty. Every time you say she's super nasty, what you're finding to be super nasty is, no, I won't return your money. That's not super nasty. That's her legal position. This isn't, Walmart. Here, I want to return. Give me my, it's not like that. This is, maybe you should be sure before you put your money down. It sounds like you were sure that day, because it's like, I talked to my man. My man said, I can't wait to hear what you are going to add, man. My man, go ahead. Tell me what you're going to add. What happened? If you're authorizing the expenditure.
We watch your show every day. So we already know without one hand goes into the other hand. And I told her that. She watches it every day. We watch you. So I kept on telling her, listen, before you do anything, just remember.
So she shouldn't have sent the money until she got the contract. And she was happy. She wanted to do it herself. Okay, in fairness to her, can I just tell you, she got her to put in the text all of the details. From you. Right. But I'm saying, maybe if the argument was over that, maybe you should cut her a little slack, because she did say, my man wants all the details, and then boom, 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 all the details, and then the money went. So you would have a very clear proof of what money was paid for, and it couldn't just be stolen from you. I mean, she had taken care of that. Did you end up hiring a different wedding planner?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. After
that, I said, you know what? I'm going to take over.
Because after the
I
argument,
went and I did everything.
After the argument between me and him, he go and tell me, okay, so call the lady again and let's kind of do it. And I'm like, I just don't want to do it no more with her. She came rude to me. On the phone, she was super rude to me. All right. And after that, I stopped calling. She kept calling me and calling me and calling me. That's when I answered my phone call. She's telling me, it's not my fault that your man doesn't want to marry you. It's not my fault that your man doesn't love you. That's when I text her, wow, you are laughing at my pain, but it's okay. All
right. This is what's going to happen, folks. I have to tell you, Ms. Yamini, I really would like you to change your website right away.
I will do that. I definitely will do that.
Because it is internally inconsistent, makes no sense, and that goes against you when it's confusing as to when the refund is due. I am going to authorize you to keep the $50 for the consultation, because you clearly invested a bunch of time with her that first day. But I am going to order you to return the remainder of it only because of the inconsistency in your website. Take out that 2 weeks and just say deposits are non-refundable. And then you're golden. Whether they've signed the contract yet or not, they are supposed to know what's in the website.
Okay. Even once I even would have sent them the agreement, which I sent you a copy of that. I sent you a past agreement.
I'm sure that your agreement says deposits are non-refundable. That's the reason to get the agreement signed, right? Then you'd say, hey, this overrides the website confusion. You got it. So I'm going to rule in favor of the plaintiffs in the amount of $560. The consultation fee stays with Ms. Yamini, and I wish you all very good luck.
Thank you. We love you, Judge Milian.
Ms. Yamini, what do you think about that? You got to give the bulk of that money back.
I think it's a little unfair. I think I should have at least got to keep the $250 for the photography and videography, because I could have had that booked for somebody else.
Well, the judge didn't buy your story. She felt your contract was really not accurate, and they hadn't even seen it at that point. So you got to give $560 back, and that's the decision. Can you live with that?
I have to go ahead with that. Yes.
Yeah, you do. All right, Ms. Sanchez, are you and your man happy? How about that? At this point, you are married now.
But also, she said that she had ordered lilies, and we didn't order no lilies. Lilies are for the dead. We ordered roses.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a good point. Congratulations. I hope you're happy.
Thank
you. You live a happy life. Ms. Sanchez, you and your man. Love the way you put it. All right. With that, we'll bring this case to a close. All right, Harvey, what do you think about this?
Doug, I mean, this is something that happens to people all the time. You buy something and you want to return it. Do you automatically have a right to return it? A lot has to do with the policy. When you buy something, you buy something. It doesn't have to be returned. Money is a different situation. This is a case about non-refundability. There is a presumption, unless it's clear that money is non-refundable, then it should be refundable.
I live in a city and people park in front of my home in a no parking zone. Most of the time it does not bother me. When there is a parking ban for snow, it does. One year I ended up sliding into a snow ice pile and damaging my car. The pile would not have been there if the city could have plowed. Could I sue the owner of the car that caused the poor plowing?
Well, the bedrock fundamental rule of our justice system is you could sue anybody for anything.
Anytime.
Right? Anytime. But are you going to succeed here?
Right.
I would say the chances are infinitesimally small that you're going to succeed in that type of lawsuit.
Yeah, how
right?
I mean, I think they're non-existent. I'd go further and say they're non-existent.
Okay, non-existent. Well, think about it. The guy parks his car where he shouldn't have parked it. The plow comes along, they're plowing the snow, and they go, we got to skip around that car, and maybe they have a bunch of snow stuck on the front of the plow, and they just bring it around and they shove it in front of the car, and maybe some of it sticks out.
And then that car leaves, and then the next day you hit the pile, and you'd like to you're not going to win that lawsuit.
No. You know, when I was a kid back in Buffalo, the plows would come when the snow was really heavy, and if you parked where you weren't supposed to park, sometimes they would just plow right through alongside your car, and the stuff would pile up either over the top of the roof of your car or all up against the side of it, where you literally had to get a shovel and dig out to get to your vehicle because
Good, you should have moved your car. Good, you weren't supposed to be there.
Right.
There should be a consequence.
Oh boy, there was. Ask me how I know.